This has been a long time coming. Usually I don't like being too negative when it comes to film criticism or analysis. That's why I've kind of steered away from reviews, is I want to be more positive, analyze things, but I am going to have a few videos on analyzing why certain things or certain genres do or do not work. Because that's just naturally how I have to do things. But what I don't like to do is call out people or studios in the industry. There are a few I'm going to call out in future videos, but I don't like calling out small studios that are trying, people that are just passionate about the filmmaking industry like I am, and they can't really, they're trying, but they can't really compete with the big boys like Fox or WB or Disney or Lionsgate. Really can't compete with studios like that. But one thing I cannot stand, there are things in the film industry that I can't stand, whether it be Hollywood exploiting a niche market for all it's worth, turning things into movies that honestly shouldn't be turned into movies. Twilight. Whether it be things like that or laziness. That's the thing I can't stand the most. Laziness. You guys know I love the art of filmmaking. I don't just love watching a movie. I love knowing what goes on behind it. When I watch the special features on movies, I watch how they filmed things. I watch how they wrote things, how they edited things, because I like knowing those things, because it gives me insight on how to do it. And it hurts me when someone is given a bigger budget than I have at my disposal, is given better equipment and better resources, and they don't take full advantage of it. And they're just lazy, and they're manipulative, and they don't take full advantage of something. They have the gift that I'm striving for it. You guys know I'm going to study film in college. I'm getting a degree for it. PureFlix Entertainment. Everyone who's heard of bad religious films, they've heard of this studio. Now I want to put a disclaimer out there because I know I'm going to get this. I am not criticizing them because they are Christian. That, in fact, they do. There is only one factor about them being Christian, and that will play in later. But for now, I'm just analyzing them as I would any other studio, whether it be WB or Disney or Fox. I'm analyzing them as I would any other studio. Because, well, I gotta be fair. That's how I am. I am not unfair with my criticisms. So, here we go. I hate this studio. I hate this studio. Every time I see a trailer for one of their new movies, I get angry. I get legitimately angry because I know I'm getting three things with the PureFlix film. Lazy filmmaking, manipulative messages, and just a complete disregard for an art form. That's what I'm gonna get. Literally, PureFlix takes little to no effort in their films. It's insulting. It's terrible how they put little to no effort in their films. They just expect to put out a mediocre product with little to no real scrutinizing, no real long process, no real thought about how certain things can be better. I swear, sometimes it's like they take the first take. I think they don't even bother saying, would you like a second take? Would you like a third, a fourth, a fifth? I think they're just thinking, let's just get the first take. We're okay with that. It's like they literally grabbed Hobo Joe off the street, put him in front of a camera, gave him a paper and said, here, read what's on this paper. Literally, that's what it's like sometimes. Here's a big reason why. A lot of the actors they hire are not actors. Most of them are pastors, most of them lead youth groups, most of them are motivational speakers, most of them do certain things in the religious community. And I'm not knocking that, that's fine and all, but there's a problem. When you get people to act who can't act, you get a terrible character. When the actors don't make the characters appear real, you can't get invested. Why should I care if it doesn't look like they care? There are so many PureFlix films where I could say, oh my gosh, hire a real actor. Are you too afraid to go out and say, hey, could you be this actor? I know you're not exactly Christian, but hey, we'll pay you a good amount of money. You can pretend to be. I mean, in the end, you're just catering to your audience. It's not like they care any. I trust that they're just catering to an audience. If the actor's good enough, they'll buy it. It's just insulting that they think they can bring in motivational speakers and pastors, people who have honestly never acted before. They've never acted before and think, yeah, this is okay. We can give them acting jobs. I mean, it's not like they've had any classes. It's not like they've had any professional training. These people get an easy job into a market where people spend years perfecting this craft. People spend years getting rejected by agency after agency after agency. They go to failed auditions, but they keep trying. These people don't even have to audition. They just say, hey, I'm a pastor. Hey, I'm a motivational speaker. I like your movies. There you go. Here's a role. It's terrible, and I hate that. It's not just that. The camera work in most of their films is lazy. I swear they just set down their tripod, push record, and just say, here you go. Take that and run. Now I know what you're saying, or what you may be thinking, but Caleb, in your fan film, you did that for a lot of your shots. Keep in mind, I had basically a three-person crew. I had a three-person crew. I had me, my dad, and my friend helping me work a camera. That's what I had. I had a three-man crew helping me work that camera. This studio has 9 or 10 people, professional camera crews. And what did I have? I had a little film recorder camera. I had a little recorder with a half-decent mic and a tripod. These people get access to big industry cameras. These people get access to stuff that every Hollywood studio gets access to. And I swear they do nothing with it. They might as well be camcorders with mics mounted on top. That's what they might as well be. If you have this equipment, use it. Don't just stick it down and say, okay, say your line and we'll edit around it. They don't do anything innovative. You know what good films do? They don't just let the characters speak in the camera while they hold on a still shot. They do large pans. They help capture the environment. They help immerse you in the world. They set up the reality and the story. They don't just lazily stick the camera out there and say, okay, say a line, let's see if it works. The best filmmakers use their equipment to help them tell a story. I've raved about how Blade Runner 2049's camera work is some of the best I've ever seen, possibly the best. How it allows you to fully take in the world and the environment. How these large open areas are allowed, and you feel like this is a real world. In PureFlix, you don't really feel like you're getting immersed in the story. They're just sticking the camera down in front of in front of characters and just having them say lines and having them say cut. Filmmaking is so much more than that. It's not just saying a line in front of a lens. It's so much more than that, and it pains me that these people don't take advantage of it. Also, you could say, well, they have low budgets. Yeah, well, it's not like they have a lack of access to money. Look at their box office returns for the 2 God's Not Dead films. Where did the money go? They made a combined $110 million on those movies, and the budgets for those 2 movies combined was $3 million. Where did your money go? Do you even take full advantage of the profits? I know if I got a $60 million film, a $60 million return on a film that cost me only $1 million to make, know what I'd be doing? I'd be saying, let's use some of that money, maybe get better cameras, maybe let's buy bigger sets, maybe let's get a better effects crew in here. Let's use some of that money to make our next film better. No, they literally just carbon copied everything. I swear, the 2 God's Not Dead films, I can't separate them. There's God's Not Dead, then there's God's Not Dead. Wait, that's supposed to be God's Not Dead too. Wait, but they're literally the exact same. You just took the script from the first one, changed some of the character names, scrawled a 2 on there, and somehow passed it off. It's insulting. It's terrible how these people put little to no effort. I swear the writers could take maybe a week or a month writing these scripts, when some writers will spend sleepless nights, countless hours, days, weeks, and months going over their script, writing things down to the smallest detail, making sure that everything is right where it should be, making sure everything is written the way they want it to be and the way the director wants it. They'll do countless edits. And these people just take the first draft. I swear they take the first draft. You can't tell me with some of these lines, with some of the things that they say, that they didn't at least think, maybe we could reword that, maybe we could write that again, maybe we could try again. No, they just take the first take and call it a day. That's what they do. Now, let's get down. So I said that they're filmmaking. It's lazy. They don't take full advantage of anything that they do. Editing, it's not the worst. Trust me, I've seen terrible editing from big budget studios. It's passable. But at this point, that's to be expected, not commended. People in me on my laptop with freaking iMovie. You have iMovie at your disposal. You should know how to edit something basic. A freaking church with iMovie could edit presentations better than PureFlix. You can do something more, because they don't have iMovie. They got professional software available to them, and they don't even use it. It's insulting. It's terrible. There are plenty of fan films on YouTube that do the filmmaking, acting, writing, and editing process far better than anything PureFlix has put out. Just look up any kind of Star Wars or Marvel or horror or any kind of fan film on YouTube. I guarantee you it has better camera work, better editing, better writing, and more effort put into it than PureFlix. With some films with a low budget, you can feel the blood, sweat, and tears put into it. To me, budget is never really an excuse. If you're trying to make a film that you don't have the budget to make, you probably shouldn't be making that movie. Superman 4 is proof of that. A studio trying to make a movie with a budget that they didn't have. But it's not like PureFlix is making some sci-fi extravaganza here. PureFlix has more at their disposal than John Carpenter did when he made Halloween, and somehow John Carpenter's Halloween looks, sounds, is filmed, and edited better than anything PureFlix has put out. Okay? Now, this part's gonna get a little touchy, but I can't ignore this. I have to address this. The thing I hate about a PureFlix film is that it's downright manipulative. I have no problem with a studio trying to cater to an audience, whether it's making an action film, a superhero film, a sci-fi film, a comedy, a romance film. I have no problem with the studio trying to cater to a certain demographic, to an audience. That's honestly what Hollywood's built on. Some of the most successful franchises of all time were built off niche markets. But to grossly manipulate and talk down to your fan base, it's terrible. Villainizing other people simply because they don't believe what you believe? Since when did atheists become bad guys? Since when are atheists people that are hell-bent on destroying anything that isn't atheism? It's terrible. And they villainize other religions. Like, remember God's Not Dead 1? When the Muslim dad hit his daughter just because she was Christian? Like, who does that? I've never been in that situation, but from what that's got to be incredibly insulting to a Muslim to think, oh, hey, we think you hit your kids simply because they don't believe what you believe. We think you throw them out of the house. We think you abandon them on the side of the road. Atheists, we think that you're set on destroying people's careers, that you are big, sniveling, laughing, condescending douchebags, that you want nothing more than to see other people fail, that you laugh and mock others. I am sickened by this. People who claim that they want to spread a message of love, mercy, and acceptance by villainizing another side. Who do you think that, if this film is meant to help convert people to your way of thinking, you have failed miserably. You simply think that if you insult someone, if you call them out, and you think that they're a terrible person simply because they do not believe and think a way that you do, And you do it with a tool that has grown exponentially over the years. Do you know how big films are right now? Do you know how many people are inspired, are changed, and love movies? And you're using that to harm and manipulate others. And you're manipulating your own fans, the people who watch your films. Let's say a kid watches God's Not Dead. What are they going to think about atheists and Muslims and non-Christians growing up? They're going to think they're evil people that need to be proven wrong, and that they are pure and that they are flawless and can do no wrong. Well, let me tell you this. I've been around every types of people. Every group of people has both kinds. They have nice people that you want to get to know, that you want to be around, and then they have people you don't want to spend time with because they're condescending and they're jerks. PureFlix is making it seem like there's only two sides and that the Christians are all pure and nice and accepting, all while villainizing and crucifying another side. But to be so hypocritical, to be so wrong, it's insulting. And you're using an art form that I am passionate about, that I love, something I want to use for good. And you're using it to manipulate and villainize other people. Shame on you, PureFlix. Shame on you, David R. White, for passing off on this. You should know better. I just have two things to say to PureFlix. One, take advantage of the resources you're given. You're given $1 million equipment. Use it. You have cameras and editing software that people like me would kill to have access to. And you're not using it. Your films reek of laziness. They reek of little to no care for an amazing art form. And stop manipulating and insulting other people. I got no problem with you catering to an audience, but you don't have to villainize others. Stop it. I would usually have some kind of defense for the studio. I have none. I've seen hundreds of their films. I've seen everything they can throw. They have nothing to offer anyone. You want something good that's religious? Watch VeggieTales. A CGI cartoon about vegetables can tell better religious stories than a 2019 studio can. Why? Because they did it. They were able to communicate messages in a fun and entertaining way while taking full advantage of the resources they had, and they didn't have to villainize anyone else for it. They simply told fun stories in entertaining ways. I don't care if it's a vegetable. Watch it. It's better than this. I guarantee it. Seriously. Say what you want about the Kendrick brothers, and yeah, some of their films aren't that good, but they are not this. They at least don't feel the need to villainize other religions, to make other people look terrible just so they look good in the process. PureFlix Studios, shame on you. Shame on you for manipulating an art form and manipulating hundreds of people. I hope that someone in this studio one day can realize that you guys can be a good studio. It's not like I want you to fail. But seeing how you're not learning your lesson and you're content with pumping out cash cow after cash cow after cash cow with just the bare minimum effort, sometimes not even that. I don't see your films getting any better. Maybe you can prove me wrong, but I honestly doubt it. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. Hopefully I don't have to do too many more of these, But trust me, this needed to be said. I know hundreds are probably going to disagree with me. Hopefully a few of you can at least see where I'm coming from as a lover of film. As someone who loves the art of filmmaking, hopefully maybe you guys can at least see and understand where it is I'm coming from. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. I hope you all having a good day. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Share this video with people you know, unless they love PureFlix, or maybe you should share it with them. I don't know. Anyways, that's it from me, y'all. I'll see you nerds later.